Howdy folks, look at this, we ain't harvesting corn today. It's a little wet, we actually got some moisture, there's puddles in the yard, but you know, the fluffy manure in the feedlot looks dark on top, but when you dig down just a little bit, see the gray, dry stuff. So I thought it'd be great to box scrape that. I like it with a little bit of moisture. It's not as dusty, it's nicer to spread, it's nicer to pick up and load the spreader, and it's nicer to box scrape. So, but the other thing is, it's middle of October. We don't need shade anymore. Came out here, took all the hardware off. Just need to drop these shades, pick these apart, roll this up. As long as you heifers don't walk on my tarp, get out of here. That wasn't the most fun job, but I'm sure the heifers appreciated the shade all summer. You know, them hot days, sun beating down. Well, now I can do what I really want, which is box scrape up those 2 feedlots. We're gonna be super busy after we get harvest done. With weaning calves, cleaning feedlots, you know, every single feedlot here needs cleaned, and then got some at the North Farm. Otherwise, I would have just sat in the house. But you see, it looks pretty wet there, but those feedlots really soaked it up. You know, we got some pretty smart viewers. They notice a lot of things. One thing when it comes to cleaning feedlots, and we're talking about scraping the fluff, people ask how we don't get more than the fluff, and don't you get a little dirt? And if you're getting a little dirt, don't you have to haul some dirt in from time to time? It's actually pretty easy. Look at this. It's hard underneath here, and we're trying not to get anything but the fluff. And really, I just put that machine in float, and it settles down, and as long as it's not muddy, I try to never come in the feedlot if it's muddy. I don't like leaving ruts or anything, but as long as it's not muddy. Look at this fluff. There's like 3 inches of just straight fluff, and that's what we're picking up. And then we get to the hard, and my blade just travels across the top. Now over time, this feedlot gets a little lower and a little lower. We've had to haul in dirt behind where they feed, you know, high traffic areas. This mound here, when we first built this feedlot, we hauled in a bunch of dirt, so if there were big snows and rains, they had some high ground to get up on out of the mud. You know, I'm about a third done here already, and we got this nice mound of just fancy manure. Pretty well dry. It's not going to be heavy, but there's a little moisture in it where there's not a bunch of dust. What do you think, big old bull? 2 main reasons to me why we want to haul this out. Number one, it's valuable on our fields. I've seen it before where we spread manure somewhere and on the yield map we could see right where we put it. The other thing is, when it rains, this top fluff gets really sloppy, and it's not fun for the cattle to lay in, and it holds that moisture. So by getting rid of it, it keeps these feedlots in a better condition. The camera doesn't do it justice, but that's a pretty dang nice pile. About 6 or 7 loads with our manure spreader. Get that taken care of. Dad's on his way. He went to town today since we weren't harvesting. Picked up some legit shear bolts for our auger. They want $6 a shear bolt. It's just a bolt. That's crazy. Which tells you why we've been using the cheap ones that break all the time. It's probably like 30 to 40 cents for the cheap ones that ain't quite right, that shear quite a bit, but you get 20 of them for the price of a legit one. Did some work. Big old pile on there. Looks like Dad's got the manure spreader hooked up. To this 160 acre field. We were hauling here last year, probably got 30 to 40 acres of it spread. I got a flag in the fence line telling me where my last pass was, so we'll have to find that. I'm sure it's a little wind torn. Well, there it is. Do you see it? Barely. Not much flag left. Mistake. I ran the windshield wiper. It didn't help much. We do about 1.5 acres every pass, every trip. So yeah, to do this whole 160 acres, it'll take 100 loads or more. Probably take about 2 years, I suppose. As our equipment keeps getting bigger, it's harder to get in these 16-foot wide gates. I gotta hug this fence without shearing something off the front end. Then I gotta hug this fence. And after hugging, I'm still about 2 inches away from that railroad tie. Oh yeah. We get her done though. We're working on load 4 here. Put a little bit of a dent in that thing. So when we're doing high moisture corn and silage, a lot of people ask why we don't push and pack with this thing. It does have good weight, it would pack good, but you can see it starts spinning out. It really doesn't have the pushing power. You know, it's a big heavy machine. It just doesn't really have the pushing power. This thing's made for lifting. It has a lot of lift capacity, especially with that wet corn pit. When I'm pushing up the hill and got a full bucket, I just wouldn't be able to get the momentum. I wouldn't be able to get up that hill. So that's why we don't use that when we're doing silage and high moisture corn. Well, the other thing is, with it being so heavy, you know, I bump walls once or twice per pit, and when I do it with that loader tractor, I may leave a scratch, but with this thing that weighs twice as much as the loader tractor, I'm gonna be breaking concrete. Those walls aren't gonna stand a chance. That's all that's left. They load 9 loads to get this thing clean. Nice. With 9 loads, we did about, I don't know, 13 acres, close to. We're starting to get into these ditches though. I don't know how a full manure spreader's gonna handle those. They're pretty deep. Look how tiny. Starting to mist again out here, getting wet. No combining today. Got those 2 rolled up tarps, gonna load them up and put them in there for the year. So we just got back from town. We picked up a valve kit here because our deck plates on our corn head are slowly, actually kind of quickly, spreading apart. Essentially, our corn head and our combine aren't quite right for each other. $200. We're gonna slap it on the corn head quick, and that'll keep our deck plates from spreading out, which is a pretty annoying issue and can be costly if you don't catch it. Well, Dad's doing step one, clean the area, but we did forget about preparing for emergencies. They enter from the back, from the bracket.
Keep open on that.
Is that enough?
Yep. Beautiful. If you're in an apartment and it's on fire, but it's raining outside, would you rather have one sock on or two socks?
Two.
Why?
I don't want to step on rocks and pavement.
A sock is going to help with that?
Yeah.
Okay. I think I'd rather just have one sock, then I can hop around and keep my sock dry. Thought I had a golden thumb, but I don't.
Got the brown thumb.
I've never heard that expression. What does that mean?
Use your imagination.
Yeah. I've heard of a green thumb.
You get the brown one.
This is going to work out good. Yeah, that's just a check valve that keeps the oil from flowing back and get that camera out of my face. It's just a check valve to keep the oil from running back the other way and letting the deck plates move, I guess. So oil goes in, can't come out until it wants it to. How do you know?
Well, we made a day of it. Took some shades down, cleaned a lot, even worked on the combine. It's been kind of a dreary day, but you know, moisture keeping the dust down. It's kind of nice. Hopefully the sun comes back soon. We got about 6 full days of harvest left, and then going to be big days. That's 6 big days left. We got to finish filling that bin. It's got 11 out of the 32 loads. That center bin is empty. The silo's empty, and then 2 bins at the North Farm are empty. And we're going to fill them all if the yield stays like what it is. Anyway, hope you enjoyed watching. Love to see you next time, folks. Have a good one.